to start tonight's show. I'm going to give a quick intro. Hey, everybody, thank you so much for joining the Youth Video Podcast. We are here with our host tonight, our co-host, Mikhail Boyer, one of the best basketball players on this side of the Mississippi. Great talent, great call, and we're waiting for him to step in. So, he's going to host whoever our surprise guest is if you have not heard already. Mikhail, tell us about our speaker tonight.
Man, where do I start? I mean, well, I can say some of you might be prepared, especially those of you that, because there might be some people who don't go to Lift Youth, but if you do, you're used to being around greatness because, you got Pastor JT, but it's not about him. It's about our guest. And he's a great guy. He's the media director, really behind the scenes. All the stuff that you guys aren't really sure how it happens, it's the guy that makes it happen. I mean, he knows how to work magic.
Yeah.
Sometimes I know he's pulled all-nighters before and just made things happen when I don't want to say we didn't believe in him, but, I mean, it almost seemed impossible, and he made it possible. So I just want to welcome your guest, Terrence Gaines.
Come on. The man, the myth, the legend. All-nighters for the people. That's Terrence Gaines.
Oh, gosh. Well, thanks for having me.
Remember the name.
I'm dead.
Of course. I mean, I'm just honored you decided to give your time away to this podcast.
Of course, anything for you. I love you, so always here to help.
Speaking of help, the Patriots seem to have no help now that their most recent quarterback has left the building. My first question for tonight. Where will you go now that Tom Brady is gone? And here's the bigger question. If the Patriots and Buccaneers play, who are you rooting for?
So, just because Brady left, I am going to get a Buccaneers jersey. I still will get a Tom Brady Buccaneers jersey, but I'm still a Patriots fan. And if they play each other, I'm obviously still going to root for the Patriots. I'm still a Patriots fan, but I still love Tom Brady. So my heart's still with them.
You would
still with them
argue
too.
You're Patriots over Tom Brady is what it just sounded like.
Yes.
That's a real fan. That's a real fan, everybody. Hey, this guy works beside me often, and Mikhail said it best. He has never stopped loving people through long hours and doing what it takes to get stuff done. Anything you see on any Instagrams is either led through him or he does it directly. So you are welcome for all the media from him, but he's also humble. So that's something I love about him. But here's my question. We got a lot of high schoolers, middle schoolers listening to this podcast. If you could go back, what's one lesson you wished you would have learned earlier?
One lesson. I don't know if it's really a lesson, but I would say to be more involved in activities and to put myself out there more. Because when I was in high school, I talked to people and I had friends and stuff, but I didn't really do sports and I didn't do after school activities. And I kind of stayed to myself and my small little group of friends. So I would just say to put yourself out there and to be more involved. Because, you only get to go to high school one time. So just to have fun while you can. So you don't have the regrets. Like, I didn't even go to prom. I don't even know why I didn't go to prom. So just stuff like that, just to be more involved in school.
That's a good point. Because it's easy. So what was your thoughts on not going to prom? Was it a fear of just going out to somewhere, or was it more, or is there something else running through your head?
I don't know. So I've never been to a school dance. So I just was like, I've never been, not going to start now. But looking back on it, I'm just like, I don't know why I didn't do it. So I should have just did it, but I did it.
Yeah.
So I would that's what my lesson would be, just to be more involved and just to do things while you can.
Make the most out of your high school experience. Man, that's a great point. I love that. So with that, I guess it could translate even to experiences now. Where would you say you are? Let me stay on that question. Actually, would you say you are overcoming that sense to almost want to stay closed off later on, like after high school? to where you are going out to more experiences? And if you are, what was that turning point?
I, f- I think I'm still closed off sometimes in some aspect.
Yeah.
But the point definitely was church and getting involved and starting to go to like the youth group that I was in at the time and meeting people and going to conferences and meeting new people when I went to conferences and making relationships. So my turning point definitely was when I started going to youth when I was in high school. So that's how I kind of got out of my box.
Yeah,
little shell
that's where you met your co-host,
that
Mikhail,
is where I
right?
met when I was scared of you. That's where I met Mikhail. That's where I met everybody. So
Yeah. So anybody watching, know that youth group does not only affect your spiritual health, but it also can affect your physical, emotional, your relational. It affects every area in your life. And I think what Terrence said is really good. He says he's still learning how to get better at it. But one quote I heard a guy say is, "You don't have to be the best. You just got to get better." Right. So every day we're just trying to get better. We don't got to be the best at it.
remember when I used to be scared to talk to you?
I do remember when you used to be scared to talk to me. I also remember when you uh,
And
learned how to
I
surf.
felt that was great. Great
And now
memories.
we're here. Started from the bottom. Now we're here.
I'm on your talk show.
Now you are the star. Well, here this is a good question to kind of follow that up. Obviously, you and I are both young leaders, so we're not the best at what we do, but we are trying to get better every day. So my question for you is this: how do you lead people that are older than you? Because in our church, we have people who are married, we have people who are engaged, we have people who are 30, we have people who are just joined the team that are like 60, 70 years old. So
Yeah.
how do you take the perspective on of leading people older than you?
Well, when you sent me this earlier, I was thinking about it. I would say, one, knowing. I mean, it is a struggle, and it definitely is like something that's an ongoing. I guess not. I guess I wouldn't say battle, but it is something that I deal with on occasion, just because there are people that like are on my team that are older than me, obviously, and it's like sometimes I feel like, how can I add any value to this person that has like
Mm-hmm.
a wife and a kid, and it's just like I'm 20 years old, so like what am I going to say that matters? But I guess one, knowing that I have the position that I do because God, he didn't give it to me by mistake. Like I have it on purpose. So like, and then knowing that uh, I'm not leading alone. I have Pastor Drew, and Pastor Drew's trusted me with the position that I have, and if he trusted me with it, he obviously has faith in me that I can get the job done, and he sees me as a leader. And if any questions ever come up, I know I could go to you or like Pastor Drew and like, hey, how can I handle this situation? And what would you do in this situation? So I take comfort in knowing that when I am leading, like I'm not leading alone, and that I have other leaders around me who want to see me succeed, and that I can lean on you guys to get me through those situations whenever problems come up.
I think that's such a great point. I think that's for anything in life. I wrote it down. I just wrote down two things because I thought it was so good what you said. God gave me the position, and two, don't lead alone. And I just want to touch on each one real briefly. But God gave me the position is such a good perspective to have, even in relationships. Like, you might feel inadequate to date somebody, or you might feel inadequate to be at your job or something, but God gave you that position. Or maybe you feel overqualified to be in a position like I should be doing more than flipping burgers right now. But God gave
Yeah.
you my position, and that is, I think, for influence. And you certainly have influenced a lot of people with some of the content you put out, and more so your life, honestly, man. I'm just impressed with how you love people and how you're genuinely authentic, because that's really what we need in this time. We're not trying to find some fake phonies. Um, People can smell fake, is what one guy said. But I love that. So if anyone's watching and needs to know how do I lead, or how do I even just manage the place I'm in, Corona, how do I manage being stuck inside all day or stuck with limited access to people? God gave you this position. Like, God gave you the spot you're in right now, so make the most of it. Um, Yeah, I think that's really easy. That makes it really easy for kids. And here's the last question for you, so I'll let you go to honor your time because I know everybody
Yep.
wants your time.
Okay.
But here's the question. What is one quality you think is essential for ministry, which probably bleeds into everyone's life at the end of the day? Because your life is a ministry, whether you know it or not.
I would say, and I've been learning it more recently, and it's been pressing more over like the last 2 weeks, definitely consistency, being consistent in like everything you do in like all aspects, and being consistent in our relationships at work, whether it be with you or with Pastor Drew, being consistent, like doing my work, getting my work done on time, showing up to places on time, showing up to events on time, like the quality of work I turn in, just being consistent, and not only being consistent, but also I guess being consistently available too, and just making yourself available and open for opportunities to come, because like when you're available, opportunities will come, and I don't know. So I would say consistency and availability.
Yeah. How do you cultivate that if you don't have it? Like, so obviously, like you've said, it's been something you've been trying to get better at. What's a reminder you tell yourself, or how do you keep that fresh to just stay consistent?
I would say having accountability, maybe like accountability partner or to-do list to make sure like, hey, I'm going to do this today, get this done today, and like just blocking off time to make sure you actually get done what you need to get done, and making sure you don't put other things above like the ministry you have been given, and you're not like neglecting what God has given you. But yeah, definitely accountability as well, and having someone to hold you accountable, make sure you're getting done what you need to get done.
I love that answer. I think consistency is what leads to blessing, in all areas. Like you said, if you just continue to show up for people, if you're consistent with the guy you have in the car right now, Mikhail, you guys will have a great friendship. If you're inconsistent, it's going to be harder to maintain a relationship. Now, I mean, I know you guys have built up trust with one another. That's why you hang out. But right, I think consistency bleeds into every area in your job, in your relationships, and it's only going to make those things grow. You know, and I just love what you said, man. I think consistency is great. Brooke is in the comments saying, "Wow, Terrence Gaines, wow." So, you know, you're bringing a good thing for a lot of people, and I think if people were to learn this now, man, I don't know what the possibility could be for their dreams, for their influence, for what God has for them. So, I'm appreciative of you and who you are. And I can't wait to look back at this video 10 years from now
Also,
and
my
see your influence. What was that?
favorite coworker. Just saying.
Hopefully they're not watching. Aubrey, don't take it personally if you are. It's just I'm more consistent in the relationship. Hey, so I think the best way to end this podcast tonight is to let Mikhail just outro us out.
I think that'd be good too.
So give him a little rep to outro us out. Mikhail, you can summarize this thing and close it down.
Come on, man. I think these were all the points Terrence made were really good. Like I said, he's just a great guy. So it seemed he made it look so easy. He was just fluent. He had something to say for everything you asked, and he really gave the people what they needed to hear. So I mean, it just doesn't get better than that.
Amen. And we can say he's the same person on camera as he is with you guys, chilling.
Yeah,
Consistency is key.
I think all I'm really worried about now is who's next, because it's gonna be hard to follow that up. I don't know if I'd be up for the challenge.
Agreed.
So
agreed.
Thank you for having me, though. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you guys. This is the Lift Youth Video Podcast. We cannot wait to see who's next.